to the IWD406 Podcast. Within this platform, the gathering table is where we bring women together to have real conversations in real time. Conversations that reflect life as it's actually being lived, not just how it looks on the surface. Because so much of what women carry is often unseen. The weight, the decisions, the identity shifts. These are the stories that deserve space. The Gathering Table is also an extension of the IWD406 Anthology, our online publication where women share their stories through written, visual, and audio mediums, creating a living record of what it means to be a woman in Montana today. At IWD406, we believe in women that share their stories. They create visibility, connection, and lasting impact. So today, we invite you to pull up a seat to the table. Today at the Gathering Table, we are sitting down with a woman whose story reflects the depth, resilience, and reality of motherhood in Montana in a way that many don't see, but so many live. Angela Willey is a children's book author, storyteller, and mother whose life and work have been deeply shaped by her daughter's journey with a congenital heart defect and ongoing medical challenges. Through that experience, Angie has stepped into a role far beyond motherhood, becoming an advocate, a connector, and a voice for women navigating the complexities of raising medically fragile children in environments where support systems are often limited. Her debut book, Little Louise and Her Special Heart, so sweet, is more than a children's story. It is a reflection of lived experience designed to help families, children, and communities understand resilience, kindness, and the power of imagination in the face of uncertainty. Wow, we need that. Today's conversation is not just about motherhood, it's about identity, isolation, advocacy, and what it truly means to be a mother without a manual in a place like Montana. Welcome, Angela. How are you?
I'm good, Julie. Thanks for having me today.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited and honored that you're here. And momming, if you want to call it that, it's hard.
It's hard.
It's really hard.
No matter what you have going, it's hard.
It is so hard. But I want to start off and say you're doing it and you're doing a fantastic job. And just hearing your bio and learning a little bit more about you, this is going to be such a powerful conversation for those people that are listening in that are sitting and feeling alone, right? And they may just be a mom and have kids or one kid, or they have a kid that has special needs.
Yeah.
In the severity factors of all of that, this is an important conversation, and I'm so proud and honored that you're willing to come to the Gathering Table and sit and do it with me.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
Yes.
My first question is for you. Are you a true Montanan? And I ask this for the podcast because I think it's really fascinating to know. I've been here for many years. My parents have been here. Are you generational Montanan?
So technically, yes and no.
Okay.
My parents, yes, born, raised Montana, grandparents. I technically was born out of state in Idaho.
Okay.
We've been back and forth from Idaho a little bit, but I've been in Montana for 20 years.
You're a ride or die Montanan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So you know the culture, you know the way of life here.
Yes.
And it is, since if you did pop out of the state for a bit of time and then come back, right?
You come back.
You do come back.
You come back.
Everybody comes back because it's epic. It's an epic state. It's an epic state to live in. Don't you feel that way?
Yes.
Yeah. And not that Idaho isn't.
No, but it's different.
It is
It's
different. The
different.
culture, the people, everything. We're still Western-esque,
Very.
but the communities are a lot smaller.
Yes.
And everybody knows your name
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of thing.
You always know the neighbor.
And so that community support is just, it's really a special thing. But I want to talk a lot about, I want to get into it. So we're going to talk a little bit about, so you were born and raised where?
Technically, Montana.
But where at in Montana? Kalispell?
Bozeman.
Haver. All over.
Oh, yeah, we moved a lot.
Okay, so you moved a lot. And then did you go to college?
A year in Idaho.
You're in Idaho.
We came back home.
Came
to
back
Montana.
home. And then did you ever think to yourself, did it cross your mind of, I want to settle down in Montana and start a family? Yes.
Never really thought it was going to happen at the time when I was younger.
Okay.
But Montana was always in my heart. I always knew I would end up in Montana where my grandparents and parents are.
Now, did you meet your husband elsewhere, or is he a Montanan as well?
He's Montanan.
So you both are Montana.
Yeah.
Okay, so you both met one another and then got married.
Yeah.
And then you were like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
Did you think you wanted to have kids? Was that in your forecast?
At that point, we knew.
You knew you wanted to have a kid.
Yep.
Okay. So what did that look like for you? Were you like, oh, I think some people that are like, I can get married and I'm going to settle down and have babies right away. Or were you like waiting, or did you go right into it?
We had been together for so long and we were engaged for over a year.
Okay.
That we knew right away we wanted to try to have babies. Yeah.
You did. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that. So what did that look like in your mind at that time?
Oh, it was very structured. It was very much, I want to be a mom.
Yes.
I want to have kids with my husband. He wants to be a dad. We want a growing family. In Montana, it was, yeah.
It's all things, right?
It's all the things.
It's like, were you the type of mom that's, I always ask this question too. I think, were you like type of mom that already had it all planned out? How many kids you wanted? Did you think I want boy, girl, boy, or boy, whatever that looks like? Were you thinking in that way?
It's funny you asked me that. So originally I always wanted twins. And I'm obsessed with Rugrats. I'm a 90s kid. So it was going to be Philip and Lillian. My last name's Willey, so that's never going to happen.
Okay, I love that.
So we've gone back and forth, but we always knew we wanted at least 2.
You wanted at least 2.
Yep. So we had our daughter.
Okay, okay, got you. I got you. See, for me, I was like, I don't know about this motherhood thing right off the bat. I didn't even know if I ever really wanted. I think at some point I thought I wanted to be a mommy, but I didn't know what that would look like.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of was like a career-focused woman. My husband comes into the picture, and I'm like, oh, he really wants to have kids. This is happening.
It's different when the partner is like,
yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
And we got pregnant right away, right? And I thought, I come from a big family. Okay, if we're going to do this, we're going to go big or go home.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe I'll have 4 kids because I come from four kids
That's
family.
what I come from as well.
Yes, big family.
Yes.
And there comes a lot of tricks of that trade, right? Being in that environment. But I thought, I'd want to have a bunch of kids and, and I don't know really what it looked like, but I always wanted a little girl. Mm-hmm. I always wanted, but my gosh, there's such different dynamics from boys to girls.
It's 100%.
Yes.
It's crazy true. With my nephews versus my daughter, it's night and day sometimes.
It's night and day. Even going through the different phases of life, you're like, holy buckets. Like,
this is different.
It is different. And I do have a daughter that leans more on her masculine side. So she is, my boys, obviously, rough boys, everything. But she still pulls hard on that feminine side and stay away from me. Really emotional. So it's fun, but I don't know. I didn't have my 4, but I had 3.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing with all of them. But I want to talk a little bit about the process of becoming a mommy. So walk me through how you found out you were pregnant and then the start of all of that. Let's roll into that.
So we really wanted to try after we got married. So we were very structured and tracking and doing all the things. And it took us a good couple months.
Yeah.
And I found out very early. I was 4 weeks.
Wow.
I was like 4 weeks to the
You're
dot.
fertile myrtle that just pops up.
It was insane.
Okay.
And it's very hard to find out that early sometimes because you want to say everything. And this was my first, and it was lovely. So that's a good question because some people are really quick to get that announcement out there. Yes.
See, for my husband and I, we're pretty superstitious.
Yes.
I don't know if it's superstition or if it's just, I don't know if it's the
fear.
The fear. Let's hold on to this for a little bit longer and let it just be our thing.
Yes.
And some people are like, no, as soon as I see a pink line or the double pink line or whatever it says on, I don't know. I'm so old. It's the pregnancy test must have changed or whatever.
They still use those.
Are they still
don't
the
worry.
same? Okay. Don't worry. I'm like, am I that old? But yeah, the double line, right? And then quick to tell. But I know my husband's like, no, we have to wait, until we get absolute proof and everything's looking good. And then we announce it.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys did?
We waited a bit. We found out in April with her, and we told our parents on Mother's Day. So it was their Mother's Day surprise. So we waited. We were about 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And then we didn't tell people, actually, we didn't post it on social media for a really long time. It was after 20 weeks.
Wow. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when my first kiddo, gosh, this is taking me way back. MySpace was a thing to post.
Yes.
And no one's going to freaking post that on MySpace.
No, that's not what MySpace is for.
But Facebook, social media, which we talked a little bit about before we got on this, in this sitting down and chatting mode. But it's interesting. Everybody's quick to get it onto the gram.
They are.
Yeah.
And sometimes very quick, which if that's their preference, good for you.
I feel like a lot of pressure.
I feel like a lot of pressure. And we chose to keep it to ourselves for quite a while.
Yeah. And why was that? What was your thoughts behind that?
A lot of it to begin with before 20 weeks was just we didn't know how we wanted to announce it yet.
Yeah.
And it was in summer and we were just kind of crazy. And then after 20 weeks, when we got her first diagnosis, it was a lot of grief at first.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So you knew you were pregnant.
Yes.
You hadn't gone to the doctor yet because you kind of have to wait for that, right? At that, what's the checkup?
We had gone to a few doctors.
You had gone to the few doctors.
We'd gone to our midwife. And then the 20-week with the anatomy scan, they tend to look a lot more in depth. So they look at the brain and the heart and make sure everything's okay.
Okay.
And at the 20 weeks, they bring in a maternal fetal specialist.
Yeah.
And they look it over. And our maternal fetal specialist saw an anomaly in her heart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's back up a little bit. So you had gone to the other doctors, right? And seen, nobody had mentioned anything.
No, the issue was too small to see anything.
So when they did the more sonogram and all the scans was when, but did you feel anything? Did you feel it? Were you just in the excitement mode? And
What's interesting
Yeah.
that you asked me that. So with my daughter, I didn't realize I was doing it until my aunt and dad told me later that I kept going to them saying, I'm scared something's wrong.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just being my first pregnancy and my first like all those things. That's what it was. And then when I reflect back on that, I do think something in my head was like, there is going to be an anomaly. There's going to be something happening.
Was it because it was just instinctive, or did you feel off through the,
I would say
it's
it
your
was
first
instinct.
pregnancy. How are you going to know?
And I had no symptoms.
And
so I was not nauseous. I wasn't doing any of the normal pregnancy things. So after 20 weeks, when they were like, oh, something's wrong.
Yeah.
We were like, okay.
Yeah.
What? What's wrong? How bad is this? And then it became a lot of managing emotion versus physical.
Walk me through that appointment. I guess I want to know. You're at 20 weeks. You have an inkling. You're going into it with the hope.
Yeah.
But was the doctor in the room? What did that look like?
So
set the stage for me.
We got the call from the midwife. Hey, they saw an anomaly. They want you to come back in. And I talked to her and I was like, what does this mean? Is this okay? Is this a little something? And she was like, no, this is a little bit bigger. And I was at work and I left work early.
Yeah.
And we went into that next appointment with the ultrasound technician and the maternal fetal specialist. And he started to go over what he saw and that there was a heart defect. Now, my husband went into logic mode. He was like, okay, tell me what this means. What is the next step? What will she need to survive this? And I just kind of sat there. I was laying there because I was still just finished an ultrasound. And the ultrasound technician was a woman, and I love her to death. Her name's Kara.
Yeah.
And she finally looked over at me probably 5 minutes in and said, are you okay?
Yeah.
And I just immediately started crying.
I would have.
And my husband and the specialist, they're still talking. And she was my comfort in that moment. And then it was, okay, what does this look like? We have to go talk to a pediatric cardiologist to get an official diagnosis to make sure this is what the maternal.
Did they do that right then and there, or did you have to gruelingly wait?
Gruelingly wait for more appointments.
Just that in between.
It's awful.
It's like a mother's worst nightmare.
It is. And it's hard because when we reflect back, we feel lucky that we found out in utero. We know quite a few parents that found out after the fact, even years down the road, that there's a defect or something wrong and they have to go in. So we did feel lucky in the sense that we felt like we got to prepare a little bit.
Yeah.
But that waiting period caused, one of the biggest things it caused was high blood pressure.
Yeah, of course.
So every time I'd walk in to a doctor's office, high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And so they got worried for my health.
Yeah.
In addition to the baby.
Holy buckets, a double freaking whammy.
Yeah.
So now you've got every appointment, instead of being excited, I'm assuming the excitement now is
it's gone.
It's gone. It changes everything in this journey or launch of being a new mom or motherhood, now you literally are walking through every appointment with complete fear.
Yep.
Complete what ifs. You've got the husband who thinks like most husbands,
yes,
partners, they go into logic mode. And to me, that's annoying. Did you get annoyed with that?
In the moment, I was just more in shock.
Yeah.
Later, I've definitely gotten annoyed now.
Yeah. I would be like, oh my gosh, can you like stop for a second? We're not going to go predict 5 steps ahead. I have to be right here where I'm at right now.
Absolutely.
So now we have all the things to start thinking about before she's even born.
Yeah.
But on top of that, now you have a health crisis happening because having high blood pressure
can be very dangerous. Yes.
Very dangerous. Were you on bed rest?
No, I was not.
They didn't put you on bed rest? Wow.
Yeah. And actually we were sent down to Phoenix.
Okay.
Because we got to choose some hospitals, look at different hospital options for us, and Phoenix made the most sense for our family. So they sent us down to Phoenix right before, there's a period where you're not supposed to fly, 30 weeks or something. And right before that, we went down to Phoenix and met with a cardiologist, and we met with another maternal fetal specialist that's where I would have given birth.
Okay.
If things had...
Not even in Montana?
No, I would have had to go to Phoenix.
You would
with just the heart defect, yes.
Wow. Did you end up going?
Not to give birth.
Okay.
So we had a doctor, a maternal fetal specialist in Phoenix, who told me basically the baby's dying.
Okay.
And my body wasn't working and I should take care of it. And it was an awful experience. But the pediatric cardiologist down there was very different and very welcoming, inviting. And he was like, when we came home, the midwives stepped in and were like, no, you need second and third opinions. And so second and third opinions changed everything.
Yeah.
So I ended up giving birth here in the Flathead because they were worried about my health.
Because were you at a point where you could go at any minute and you need to have something established here?
Yeah. I needed, really, I probably needed anxiety medication.
Yeah, it does. It raises your blood pressure up tremendously.
At home, I was doing much better. But every time I'd walk into that doctor's office, and I had one maternal fetal specialist who was like, I think it's time. And it was 4 weeks early.
So she was 4 weeks early.
Yep. And she came here in the Flathead.
Wow.
Yeah.
So walk me through that moment of, okay, I got to throw something else out there. So now you've got the anticipation of what's coming. Now you have health problems. Your blood pressure's, there's no way in hell I would have level blood pressure if I was completely stressed all the time. Can't sleep, because I'm sure I don't know how you think and how you lay in bed at night, my mind would be racing. So now we're insomnia, right? Can't sleep, got all the things. And then on top of that, the travel expenses, you're a newly married couple.
Yep.
Trying to get established. I'm assuming financially trying to figure out how to blend money and 100%. Work through all that, right? Now we've got to travel to freaking Arizona.
And what does work look like that way?
That way? Exactly. And then now we're going to have the baby. They induced you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're getting induced.
So I went to an appointment for an ultrasound.
Okay.
Not intending to give birth.
Okay.
Right? It was 4 weeks early.
Yep.
And he was like, I'm so worried about you. I want to send you over to OB in the hospital.
Okay.
I go to OB. Finally, a midwife comes in and they're like, no, they're planning on you giving birth now. Because I didn't understand that was not necessarily communicated. It was, hey, I'm worried about you. I want you to be monitored. Let's go over here.
Yeah.
That was my understanding. The midwife comes in and they're like, oh, no, they're going to induce you. You're going to have this baby today.
Holy buckets.
She came the next day.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And that's the other thing too, is women, it's not like the movies, right?
No.
Especially if you have medical problems going on, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, where's my preparation bag with my MP. At the time I'd had like an MP3 player. And I'm like, all my birthing music is on there. And I don't have that. I don't have my cute little outfit that I want to wear in the hospital. And they're just shoveling you over into the other antepartum ward where you're ready to go into the delivery ward. It's like, it's not like the movies at all.
No.
Were you in shock?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. My sister, who was also pregnant at the time, was late. Her son was born 56 hours before my daughter.
Wow.
So she gave birth. They took her out of the room and wheeled me into the same room.
Holy buckets. Your family must have been on fire. Like
my
buzzing
mom was
around.
at the hospital for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like solid.
Wow. Oh, but you need that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So let's go through. Okay. Can I ask, did you have a normal birthing process? Vaginal birth, or was it C-section?
Vaginal. I got lucky in that sense that we were able to do that. She was very small being premature, and she was already small with some of her defects.
How small?
She was 4 pounds.
Holy, that's small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was pretty small.
Okay. So now we have a baby that's super small, 4 pounds, has to go to the NICU.
Yes. So they did let me hold her.
Yeah.
And I will never forget looking at one of the NICU nurses, and I'd just given birth, and I'm like, is she okay? And no one was answering me. And finally one nurse locked eyes, and she goes, she's okay.
Oh.
They thought she was going to come out blue. She did not. So I got to hold her for a minute, and the minute they took her away, I basically screamed. And I'm very lucky with my midwife, and she immediately came to me and said, let's talk about this. Let's figure out you, because my husband had to go with the baby.
Oh.
Yeah.
To have that?
Yeah, you're separated very quickly.
I love hearing this, because it sounds like to me like the delivery process and the emotional bonding and then the emotional support has evolved a lot.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like I felt like I was just wheeled in. I was in the antepartum for several weeks prior because I had high blood pressure.
Yeah.
At risk, induced state, have my son, and it was like, okay, good job.
Yeah, see you later.
Good job, Mom.
Yep.
And I'm like sitting there going, what just freaking happened?
Yeah.
But I also want to acknowledge you have another layer to think about. Nothing really is about you at this point.
No, it was
But to see and to hear that they made it about you.
Yes.
Somebody was there in the room, a professional that was like,
and
Angela,
thank God for that.
I want to and connect. That must have just.
She was the only one I felt really postpartum besides my parents that truly was focused on me.
Yes.
In that room.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. So at least we had a beautiful moment right then and there, right? Yeah. With all of the chaos, all the uncertainty.
Yeah.
Now, baby is now in NICU.
Yes.
What did that look like for you in those next days?
So she had her first MRI at 1 day old.
What?
Basically, clean her up and MRI because they needed to see what was going on neurologically.
Okay.
They thought it was different diagnosis versus in utero and out. And so at 2 days old, I'm still in the hospital. I'm still considered a patient. Mm-hmm. So my high blood pressure.
Because you're a blood pressure, yeah.
And so my husband's trying to go back and forth between us. I am able to go to the NICU, thank goodness. But we found out the diagnosis was different.
Yeah.
And so then the conversation was, how do we get her down to Phoenix?
Wow.
Yeah. And she needs to go now.
Not let's get her home into the nursery, into the newly painted nursery.
Nope.
Nothing like that.
And at that point,
how do we react?
Didn't even do a nursery. We didn't plan on anything because we had no idea what was going to happen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, it just breaks my heart. So now we're leaving.
Yes.
To go to Arizona.
So my husband and daughter were life flighted. She was life flighted at 2 days old in the middle of the night to Phoenix, which is a whole nother ballgame when you use life flight.
Yeah.
And
expensive too.
Yes. Very. Thank goodness some insurance covers it.
Yeah.
And then I was still in the hospital. So I had to stay a night without my husband and without my baby in the hospital. And then I was discharged the next day. And I had family, my parents, my aunt helped pack up my dogs and my house and into a U-Haul, and my parents helped drive me down to Phoenix. And I don't recommend that. Don't drive cross country after you've given birth.
No.
It's very uncomfortable.
Unbelievably uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm just, for those that are listening in, I know for myself, the swelling that takes place from a vaginal birth, you can barely sit.
Yep.
You have to sit basically on a donut.
Yep.
I remember leaving the hospital and any bump bothered me. Because you're stitched up, you've got all. I'm sorry, but this is the reality.
100%.
That we
what
have
it looks like.
So now you're driving. How many hours to get down there from Montana to Arizona?
3 or 4 days.
Holy
with the two
smokes.
dogs, yeah.
With the two dogs.
And my parents, luckily, they were able to.
And your parents, but also to knowing that you were left behind in the hospital while your baby and your husband.
Yes.
Who was there for you?
My parents.
They came to the hospital and they stayed with you.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I think about support systems that are, and we're going to talk about that, like how important support systems are.
Very important.
For not just for just new moms in general.
Absolutely.
I can only imagine, and I want to get into your head a little bit about where you were at that time where you just kind of, I don't even know how you'd even take deep breaths. You probably were just holding your breath throughout that whole process.
A lot of it was my midwife checking in.
Okay.
And my parents constantly reminding me,
yeah,
hey. And luckily, most NICUs have cameras.
Yeah.
So I was able to use a lot of my cellular data
yeah,
and on the drive and watch her and my husband in the NICU.
From a camera. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Wow. So we get to Arizona, and then was it it was a life and death surgery, essentially, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
They have a procedure now that it's very new that they did with my daughter. They put some stents in to help her grow.
In a 4-pound baby.
Yeah. The bigger your body, the better chances of your heart surgery. So they wanted her to grow.
Wow. And then how long were you guys there in Arizona?
3 months, 3.5 months.
You literally were there for 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to pause with this one. I'm just trying to wrap my head around this.
Over Christmas.
Yeah. 3 months, left Montana, in Arizona. Where are you staying?
We were very lucky. My in-laws have a place down there, so we were able to stay.
Hallelujah. That's amazing.
If not, we would have been at the Ronald McDonald House.
Oh.
Which in Phoenix at the time was getting renovated, so they were sent to hotels.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Okay, so you're there for 3 months because of the recovery process? Because of...
They wanted her to grow.
They wanted her to grow. Okay, so
she
gain
didn't
weight.
have it until about 3 months.
Got you. Okay. So then... Okay, wow. Okay, so they were waiting. Did she grow? Was it a steady grow rate? No.
So there were times that they didn't want her to eat. And so I was like, but this is negating the whole growth process.
Yeah.
And she has neurological conditions as well. So she ended up getting a VP shunt put in.
Okay.
So she had that surgery at about a month old.
Okay.
And then her heart surgery was about 3 months.
Okay. Hold on. I'm adjusting. Sorry. Interesting. Wow.
And then after the heart surgery, she was discharged after a week. After open heart surgery.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You taking her back to the house in Arizona? And
in the house in Arizona, you have to stay for 2 weeks and go back in for checkups. And then you can go home to your state.
So let me ask you this. Okay. I see. So now bringing her back, I can't even imagine. Are you in the hospital trying to recover, right? From having a baby, mentally in shock.
Oh yeah.
Total shock. But then also, okay, I got to know everything about what's happening. Were you frantically searching and educating yourself? What do you do?
Interesting. My husband did that. So a lot of that was my husband. What I would do is ask questions. So they'd come in. We had times where they were like, we're going to do brain surgery today. And we were like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
We don't know that. They called us on our way in one day saying that. And so mine was asking questions to every single person that walked into the room. Hey, what's your thoughts on this? What does this mean? Because I'd get different answers every time.
Oh my goodness.
For my husband, it was literature.
Yeah.
He would read everything, research, and...
Does he have a background in that?
No.
Now he's like a medical expert.
Oh yeah, you would never know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That just tells you what the brain can do when it's in a state of shock or trauma.
Absolutely.
And prolonged trauma of, wow, I can absorb all this information, digest it.
And he still knows it.
And then advocate for it.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I've learned things that I would have never wanted to learn.
Yeah.
Now.
Because that's not the field that you were pursuing in life.
Not even close.
Not even close. Wow. So, okay, you're down in Arizona for three months, and you're starting to figure out what this life's going to look like for you with an infant that has medical challenges.
Yeah.
What were you preparing for? What were you thinking about coming back to Montana?
Coming back to Montana, it was a lot of questions with insurance, whether that was what specialists, what therapists, what doctors, or where do we get equipment? Yeah. At the time, she was on a feeding tube. Where do we get that? How do we do that? And how do we do that across state lines?
Yeah.
Is a very big question when you get to come home.
And did they have resources to help you with that?
They do. Okay. But it's very confusing.
Okay.
And you have to know your insurance so well that, and we don't. Knowing your own health insurance is very crazy, but we were very lucky in having a health insurance agent who actually really helped walk us through it and made sure she was involved in every part when we were gone.
Okay.
Not everyone's that lucky.
No. So, okay, coming back, you have to have the health insurance agent. You have to understand what your needs are.
Where to find everything, who to find.
Okay. And you're in Montana, which you're also in the northwest of Montana.
Yes.
So for those that are listening in, Montana is pretty vast.
Yes.
We're even thinking like where we live is 50 some odd, I think it's like 5,800 square miles of just our county alone.
Yeah.
It's a big stretch of land, which means that there's not a lot of hospital systems.
No.
Big hospital systems in place that you would need to. What if an emergency came about?
Yep.
What if you needed that specialty team?
Yep.
Like, how did you wrap your head around that?
We met with a lot of the specialists and doctors here in Montana before we left. So we would do virtual visits and establish care to make sure they were in place. Now, there's a reason we all leave for these surgeries. There's not a surgeon here.
Yeah.
A pediatric cardiac surgeon. There's none in the state of Montana. You have to leave.
Wow.
For those surgeries. So to come home, it's finding the doctors that can, and the specialists that can take care in the interim. If you need surgery, if you need more surgeries, that can take care of you in that interim space.
And it's fascinating with a kiddo with a heart defect or, any sort of issues that's going on. They're not just going to have one and done surgery.
No.
How many surgeries did she end up having in her first year of life?
Oh, 4 or 5.
4 or 5. Okay.
And I say 4 or 5 because sometimes they don't consider ballooning surgery. Depends on who you ask.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then the aftercare, do you bring people in to help, or is it just you and your husband navigating?
Just me and my husband.
So there's no like in-home care to help with this kind of stuff?
Not if she was more severe, there might be an option for that, but for her, there was not.
Oh.
So they taught us how to put in her feeding tubes, how to do all this stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting back and thinking about all this. What comes to your head?
It's so much to ask of somebody that's not trained, that has such an emotional attachment to this child. It's their baby.
Yeah.
And we were very lucky with a lot of our nurses and everything that they taught us a lot.
Yeah.
And we're very lucky with the doctors and specialists here and her therapist. But there's a lot they don't know either.
Because she has a pretty rare condition, right?
Yes.
So then you're pretty much navigating everything. It's like a Wild West. It truly is like the Wild West. You don't know. And if you don't have the resources, what do you do? And on top of that, let's not factor in that you have to travel somewhere else to get the resource and to get the research around whatever it is that she needs.
Yes. And even with common heart defects or neurological conditions, there's so much that comes into it where a kid could have so many different little things that it changes the diagnosis in the sense that, yes, they have a common defect maybe, and I say quote unquote common.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
It doesn't.
Okay.
In my opinion,
I love that.
I don't like quote normal. And that's so hard for me because everybody's got a little something.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you look at the kids that are quote unquote common, that have common defects.
Okay.
And they're still going to have other things that we may not have the resources for here in Montana.
And what would be like give us some examples of other things?
Some neurological conditions.
Because of the oxygen that gets to the brain, or?
It just depends. It could be blood flow. It could be literally the fluid in the brain draining.
Okay.
And it could turn into a behavior issue. And sometimes behavior issues, yes, we have specialists for that, which is amazing. But sometimes you need more help than that. And you need special doctors, and they're not always here in the state.
Wow. Did you ever contemplate moving somewhere else?
Then Montana?
Yeah. No, you were like, I'm going to be here. This is where we need to be. Wow. Okay.
It's where my husband's career is.
It's where your husband's career is. It's where your roots are.
Yep.
Where your family is.
Yes.
The support factor. But then it never crossed your mind of like, maybe we need to move to Arizona to be closer to where we need to get access to the things we need.
Not after she was born.
Not after she was born.
Before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Not after she was born.
So when do you walk me through to when you get to a place where, and I want to talk about you as a mom, but walk me through to where you get to a place things start to kind of level out a little bit. What age is she where things are leveling out? You're in a routine. You know what to do. You kind of have things in place. When was that?
She turned 2 in November, and I would probably say February. This
February.
Yeah.
So you've been in basically survival go mode, fly by the seat of your pants essentially, but having to have things in play.
Yes.
Like in emergency situations. And it was just till February?
Yeah. Really, since she started to be able to walk and communicate a bit better.
Okay.
She also has breath holding spells, which is a result of a few.
Terrifying.
They're terrifying. And if you don't know how to deal with it.
Can you tell people what a breath holding spell is?
So for her, a lot of times it looks like she can't, like you got the wind knocked out of you. You can't catch your breath.
Okay.
And she doesn't know, her body doesn't know how to help correct that. So she can't literally take another breath almost until she's startled.
Wow.
So she has gone probably 20 seconds, and this can induce seizures.
Oh my gosh. I hate to say this, but I saw something on Instagram about that. And I literally, while watching that, I was holding my breath.
Yeah.
Thinking, my gosh, the baby's not breathing.
Yes.
And she was
turning blue.
Blue.
Or purple. Yeah.
And it was literally a baby like having a crying fit.
Yes.
So
a lot of times it's from crying with my daughter.
Yeah.
So she'll be really upset, or she'll have had a fall.
Yeah.
And because she's not very steady right now. And she just is hurt, and it's like the wind got knocked out of her. She can't catch her breath.
And she can't. And so she's sitting there just like rigid and holding. There's nothing coming out.
No.
It's like full blown pause.
Yes.
What do you do?
We've learned a lot of different techniques.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I tilt her upside down. We do the sternum rub. A lot of times it has to be water splashed on her face. We'll clap really loud, because then you also need to make sure they don't pass out after.
Yeah.
Because again, that can lead to seizures.
Holy buckets.
And you have to know, this is what's hard too, especially in young kids, to know what a seizure looks like. Why would I have ever learned that?
Exactly.
It was not something on my radar, and now it's something I check for often.
She's 2. I can't imagine your daily watching. How do you even, I have to ask you this hard question, but being a new mom and you're constantly living on the edge of things like that's going on, how do you get back to enjoyment of being a new mom?
A lot of times it's in the little moments where she's laughing.
Yeah.
Or she's loving on you. Our daughter's very affectionate, which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah.
And my husband and I will look and be like, she's so smart. My parents remind me, my family, my husband's family, our friends, like, she's amazing. She's perfect.
Yeah.
She's perfect.
She's perfect.
And
God wouldn't make anything less than that.
No.
God makes perfect human beings.
Yes.
They do.
And
He does.
It's so interesting because she came out so much better than they were expecting. A completely different diagnosis.
Yes.
And so we got very lucky in that sense. But when you look at her now, you may not even know she's got a problem.
Yes.
She looks a little unsteady, but other than that, you would probably never know.
Is she walking or she's walking?
She's walking.
And is she talking, verbalizing?
She's talking.
So she's saying mama, dada, all the things. And
right now it's, I want candy.
I want candy. Of course. She's the girl of my heart. I love that. Oh, that's wonderful.
And that's been in the last 3 months that walking and talking have just blossomed.
So that has to make you feel good as a mom.
Oh, it's amazing. And a lot of it was early intervention.
Early intervention. Okay, let's talk about that.
Yep.
What were some of the early intervention things that you've done?
So she has been in physical therapy and occupational therapy for over 2 years.
Okay.
Because she's almost 2.5.
So since she was basically born.
Since she got out of the hospital and we came home to Montana.
You're in therapy. And is that every week?
Every week.
How many days a week?
So she has, and now she's in speech therapy and feeding therapy. So we have 3 standing appointments with the therapist every week.
Wow. Okay.
On different days.
On different days. Holy buckets.
She doesn't have the stamina to do it.
Wow.
Multiple. Yeah.
So now I want to talk about you a little bit. We just now were able to catch our breath in February.
Yeah.
And after 2 years of really trying to navigate this new version of mommyhood.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to process it all?
No. It's interesting. I go to therapy, huge advocate for therapy.
Yep.
And
Good.
I brought up my daughter's birth story for the first time to her 2 weeks ago.
You did?
And she was like, I've been really ready for this topic.
Wow. Why did you skirt around it?
I honestly, I was like, she's doing fine.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what I feel is immediate.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm glad we've come full. Like,
yeah.
The reason I started again with therapy was what happened with my daughter.
Yeah. And may I ask you, with being able to feel at a point where I can be vulnerable and talk about this hard thing.
Yeah.
What are some of the initial discovery points?
A lot of it was how much trauma I still have.
Yeah.
And because my husband and I have been very open since her diagnosis and since her surgeries, because we want to bring awareness and advocacy to medically complex children. But when it came to what actually happened with me and what I went through, it was so trauma-based that it's just different.
Okay. Talk to me. What does that mean? Tell me, pull a little bit more out from that.
For my daughter, it's people need to be aware.
Yeah.
People need to start learning and just understand that it's okay to be different, and how can we help these kids that don't have a choice. For me, it was like, sometimes people said, well, you had a choice in the hospital. You could have told them to turn down the lights. That was something very little. And my sister just recently told me that, oh, you didn't turn down the lights in your hospital in the birth room? And I said, I didn't know it was an option.
Oh, I see.
It's just little things like that where you realize, oh, that had nothing, nobody checked in on me.
There's no advocacy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what does that look like now to try to bring it back to me and my healthy self, and how do I get in a better place for me?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Which those little details matter to you.
Yeah.
They matter to you in the sense of even you mentioning the girl in the room after you gave birth, and she looked at you and
was the only one to acknowledge my question.
And before that, the one cardiologist here in the Flathead Valley that says, I don't know, but I want you to get the best care you can possibly get. And I want you to go to Arizona to find out. That was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
And those little things matter to you.
Yeah.
Those details. So that's interesting that the lack of not knowing that, did that some way did you walk through a process of grieving it, or not getting that advocacy, that just those little tiny moments? But you seem like a positive person where you're like, I did have those two or three things.
Yes.
Yeah, but the other things didn't. Yeah.
Very hard to be positive. And I'm still working on grieving that.
Yeah.
Because it was my first birthing experience. I'm a first time mom with my daughter.
Yeah.
And first human. I have 2 dogs.
Yes.
Very different.
Very different. We love them.
We love them.
Yeah.
They're family.
They
But
are. Yeah, that's right.
Different.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of, when I reflect back on certain periods, I'm like, oh, I can see how invisible I was in certain situations.
Yeah.
And moving forward, how do I make sure that doesn't happen again? Even if it has nothing to do with my daughter, how do I just make sure that I'm still the best version of me?
Wonderful.
For me, for her, for our family, but for me.
And it's a good example for others.
Yeah.
And I want to know about because I know you're a creative person, you're an author, you wrote a book.
Yes.
When the hell did you find time to do that? I'm thinking to myself, I don't even think I would have come up for air. Right. And then was that your way? I want to know 2 things. Number 1, what was your outlet? And number 2, how did you find community?
When we were in Phoenix, it was very different. So a lot of times our outlet was reading and finding literature for her, which is one of the reasons I ended up writing the book, is there wasn't necessarily a lot about having a heart defect and what that looks like when she'll have to see a cardiologist for the rest of her life. And so for a young kid to have to go to this specialist appointment where you're getting echoes done and ultrasounds and CT scans and all these different things, that's very scary.
Yeah.
And other people don't understand that. And so we wanted to read stuff to her in the hospital that helped us process as much as it could help her, even being that young. And there wasn't a lot of literature out there.
No, there really isn't. And, when I interviewed Ashley and Kaylee from Montana Bravehearts, which is congenital heart defect, it's a fantastic organization. Yes. Definitely Google that if you're interested in what they help families in the area. But one of the things that was talked about was as many surgeries as they have, and then these children, it's going to become normal for them.
Yes, absolutely.
Throughout life, it's just, I got to go in for another surgery. And I know of an adult who's in her 50s, mid 50s, that has a congenital heart defect, and she just had to have another surgery. So it's a lifelong thing.
It's a lifelong condition.
And just to be able to make sure to set them up to know that is going to happen.
And it's going to be okay.
And it's going to be okay.
It's okay to be different in that sense that you have different parameters and boundaries that you have to stick to when you're medically complex.
And also, too, a book that also educates others.
Yes.
Friends. Oh, my friend.
Siblings that may not understand.
That don't understand. Yeah. And it is a hard conversation to have. And as parents, I can only imagine. You're just getting to where she can talk.
Yeah.
And thinking ahead, if you want to have more children and all the things that are coming, if you want to grow your family, how to have those conversations with siblings, right?
Yeah. Even her cousins.
And her cousins.
Even other friends and everything. Kids don't always understand it. She needs to be a little more gentle.
Yeah.
She can't play with magnets due to the VP shunt.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's something we researched and learned on our own and then confirmed with her neurosurgeon that magnet that can mess with the settings of her VP shunt in her brain. So when we go to certain people's houses, they have to remove all the magnets.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I just spoke with somebody about their kiddo dealing with diabetes. And I think about when you get that diagnosis, same thing, any person that has a baby that has a diagnosis, right? Or a kiddo that has a diagnosis, life, everything, details matter.
Details matter.
Everything, like even down to sports and if they can or cannot go spend the night with somebody. Are these some of the things that crossed your mind?
After we got home, they did.
Yeah.
When you're in the hospital, that's your life.
Yeah.
You are in the hospital. You don't really have anything beyond that. When we got home, it was, okay, what does this look like? How do we even leave her with a sitter? How do we make sure that person knows what to do if something were to happen?
Yeah.
Even if it's a breath hold, which some people consider a minor issue, but most people don't know how to deal with it.
I would not know how to do it.
Yeah.
I would be scared. I wouldn't know what to do.
I have a lot of people say, oh, I'm scared if that actually happens when she's with me.
I'm just being honest. I hope that's okay. Yeah. Because watching that, I'd be like, I didn't know that she would be dealing with something like that.
Even my mom, who's been watching her often.
And has been a part of it.
Has been a part of it the whole time.
Yeah.
Evelyn had a very bad breath hold, and my mom was in the room and she goes, I'm so surprised that was that bad. And I wouldn't know how to deal with it if you weren't here. Yes.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you have to have constant education and conversations with people that comes into her space, into her circle, all the things
she's immune compromised for life.
Wow.
So that's the other thing. A lot of people are like, just put her in daycare. I can't.
You can't.
Her doctors do not want her in daycare.
Yeah.
And a lot of us with medically complex children, that's our reality.
Yes. And that then to me tells me that there's a tertiary effect, secondary effect with being able to expand your friend circle.
Yes.
Go on dates with your husband.
Yes.
All the things that you want to live a normal life together.
Yes.
The core dynamics of the family and how it all got started, right? You want to go hang out with your husband and go have dinner and have a date night and all the things, but
challenging.
It's challenging, right? And all the things that are, and then the future, you're still early on. She's 2, right? There's
2.
a lot of control in the environment right now. But eventually you'll have school and all the things that's coming. I want to ask you, I don't want to skim over the fact that you wrote this book and talk to me about, you were like, okay, there's not anything out there right now. It's a children's book.
Yes.
So who am I speaking to? You're speaking to, through this children's book, you're speaking to the supporter, the people that are supporting the child, right?
I think it's to both. I
think it's both.
To the child and to the support system they have, because when I read it to my daughter, I'm reading it in the sense of, this is to show you that it's okay. It's okay to have these ongoing appointments and to be different in the sense that you will need therapies and you will need to leave school early and all those things. But for other people to be like, oh, this is why, and this is what they're doing when they leave.
That's so great. What is the title of the book?
Little Louise and Her Special Heart.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
How do people learn more about that book? And especially if they want to buy it for somebody else?
Yes.
Or where do they go to learn about it?
So you can follow me on Instagram.
Okay.
It is on Amazon.
Okay.
That's where I have it right now, but I'm working on hopefully getting a little more local and having it in some bookstores here locally.
So it was just released.
In December. Yep. Christmas Day.
It was released in December. Wow. What was that like for you when you released that book?
I kind of kept it a secret.
Okay.
I was at my parents' house Christmas dinner and I published it. And my mom was like, "Why are you on your laptop?" And I said, "Oh, I just published my book." What?
Did they even know you were creating a book?
They did. Months prior. They had no idea I'd gotten my illustrator and met and connected and got it done.
Do you think that helped you on a personal level?
Oh, yes.
Do you think it also helped you process some stuff?
It helped me because I really want to bring awareness and advocacy to what I've gone through, what my husband's gone through, and what my daughter's gone through.
Yeah.
This was for me a natural step to take to start that, to start bringing awareness.
Yeah.
And how can we help these kids really have the best life that they deserve?
But for you personally, did it help you from a trauma standpoint on a personal level of shifting that analytical brain over to the creative side? Because when you're in creative flow, that stress level comes down.
Honestly,
that pain comes down.
Seeing the illustrations.
With
my illustrator who's out of Europe. And when she was able to bring to life my words.
Yeah.
It really helped settle something inside myself where it was like, okay,
yeah,
this can be the beginning of something new.
Would you suggest to mommies that are kickstarting their journey, or maybe this is their third baby or whatever, and then now they have to go through this type of process of a new look of what mommyhood is?
Yeah.
What would talk to those people that are listening and going, gosh, I'm in the thick of it. I'm in the throes of it. I'm feeling it. I don't even know how to process it. What would you say to them? How would you help them?
Honestly, take a breath.
Take a deep breath.
Take some time for prayer and reflection.
Yes.
Find support if you can. Find a village.
Yeah.
Whether that's people you already know or someone new in a support group. And for me, one of the easiest things and one of the reasons I end up writing the book is children's literature is easy, right? It's easy to consume. You can do it quickly. And so we wanted to find these smaller books where it wasn't medical and it wasn't all this research and it wasn't boring.
Yeah.
To learn about what she's going through. And so for me, pick up a kid's book.
Yeah.
Pick up a book that talks about what you're going through.
Yes.
They are out there. They may be far and few in between, but they are out there.
They're out there. And then also too, for those moms that are like, I'm assuming that shifting your focus on this book helped you in a way to find joy again.
Oh my goodness.
All the things. Ground yourself a little bit more.
I feel a spark of passion.
Yes. Okay. What does it take to get moms there?
Time. Patience.
Okay.
And truly step outside. It can be cold. It can be hot. Step outside, take a deep breath and pray. And if you don't feel comfortable with that, go talk to the tree next to you or something and let it all out. You don't have to say it to one actual individual that's right in front of you.
Yes.
Just let some of those things go. So you can try and be like, okay, how do I find even a little spark, even if that's taking a walk?
Yeah.
Or drinking a glass of water, all those cliche things we hear.
Yeah.
Doing something for you to be healthier.
Yes.
And to be the best self.
I love that. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for sharing that. That's really beautiful. I want to shift a little bit to community. We're in Montana. Things are pretty remote. There's other mommies, daddies out there, caregivers that are dealing with a child with special needs, whether it's a heart defect. I know that's a pretty rare thing, but I think the commonality has increased.
Yes.
Which was shocking for me. Yes. Because I know I shared a little bit about my family story on Montana Bravehearts episode. Back in the day, my sister passed and we didn't even know she had a heart defect until they did open heart surgery on her. And it wasn't very common then. No. Not at all.
And some conditions come with heart defects. They don't. Autism is one of those. Down syndrome is one of those, where it can come with other conditions that aren't necessarily that main diagnosis.
Main diagnosis. Interesting. So there are people out there and they're just sitting there going, oh my gosh, what just happened?
How do I navigate?
How do I navigate? Did you then find communities in Montana in this area to connect with other moms, other dads?
So I was very lucky with who my midwife was in the delivery, and she is the founder of the postpartum resource group.
Yeah.
And they have circles for moms.
Yeah.
And I started going to circles, and I realized that sometimes when you have a medically complex child, your story hits different for moms that don't. And I saw a need for a specific group for medical mamas.
Okay.
So we started that under the postpartum resource group. We have a medical mama circle to bring us together in the community. And to be honest, I found out with Montana Bravehearts, there's been a few more, but it took me almost 2 years to start people starting to tell me, oh, have you heard of this? Or have you heard of this? It's not, for some reason, it's not transparent. People don't just come out and say it right away. It's almost not hidden, but it's just not spoken about as much as it should be.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you created a group.
Yes.
You did. And it's called
Medical Mama Circle. Yeah.
Medical Mama Circle. So when you started this group, what were the expectations?
I really was just wanting to bring women together that navigate any sort of medical challenge with their kids. And even if that's a 1 day in the NICU, that is a trauma, medical induced trauma like that us moms have to navigate differently.
Yes, absolutely. So when you created the circle, what did that look like when you first kicked it off?
It was quiet at first.
Was it just 1 or 2 people?
1 or 2 people. We tend to get someone new every month, which has been amazing. And we'd love for more people to join us.
Right.
We're the first Tuesday of every month in Kalispell. And we try to reach out to the moms in the NICU here, and which I understand how hard it is to leave your baby. No matter if they're in the NICU or in the hospital, it is so challenging, but I find it so important, even if it's for an hour, to go talk to somebody or listen to somebody that can understand a little bit of your situation.
Is it like meeting for coffee? Is it group? We
sit and we usually have snacks and drinks, and we start with a topic and then we just let it flow. And if someone has questions, it's been wonderful to have other moms who sometimes can answer those questions. Be like, hey, this is how I did it. This is how I navigated the school system or health insurance or government grants that can help give you money.
Yeah. Because I would think just sitting in a group where there's other women that have gone through something similar, maybe not exactly, but just to even start having the dialogue and the storytelling behind it, I'm assuming it's just insanely powerful. Are people given the opportunity just to say, hey, here's my story?
Absolutely, if they want to.
Okay.
It's usually how we start, is if somebody wants to share their story, please do, because all of our conditions are different with our kids.
Yeah.
But we can understand, hey, if we want to play date, things are going to look different.
Yeah.
We can understand that canceling plans, it doesn't mean anything against the person we're canceling on. Our kid just isn't up to it. And things like that.
That's wonderful. And to have that understanding that you can set those boundaries.
Yeah.
You can be okay with being like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And if you don't get it, that's okay.
Yeah.
But also too, have you found that there's some women that aren't really ready? They're just there and they want to listen. They want to listen, and then they want to figure out, like you, a time where you feel ready to talk about it.
And I love both.
Yeah.
I want every mom to feel comfortable, because if you just come and listen, I really hope you get something out of it, and I think you will. Even if it's just, hey, I'm here for you. Hey, I'm here for you. It's okay if you're struggling.
Yes.
It's okay if you're not struggling and you're doing great. You don't have to fit a certain mold that maybe society or other people think you should fit. And sometimes you need that reminder from a stranger who has been there.
And also too, I think to be able to talk to other moms, not just about their kiddo struggles of resource access and all that.
Absolutely.
But I want to say navigating marriages.
Oh, we talk about it often.
In friendships, all of it.
Work. That is a topic we talk about often too, is how do you guys navigate work? Where some moms are like, I can't work. Yeah. So I become the medical caregiver.
Wow.
And what does that look like? And how do you manage work if you're able to work with a medically complex child? And it does tend to bring up certain tips and advice for the other moms in the circle.
And I want to know, can I ask you from a personal standpoint? Because I'm curious. You guys are newlyweds essentially still.
Yeah.
You're still newlyweds. I'd say 1 to 5. You're still
I'll
in
take that.
Yeah. I'm beyond that at this point. And then that's a whole nother conversation to be had, but the evolution of marriages. But I want to know, with this added pressure of being newlyweds, trying to navigate life together and all the things, how do you work through challenges that come up, and how is your relation from before you got married, having a baby? It's just having a baby is a whole new ball game. For now, we got to figure out parenting together.
Yeah.
And then now we have parenting with a medical complex child. How do you and your husband communicate? How do you guys work through stuff that pops up? What do you do? Has the dynamic shift?
It shifted dramatically after the first diagnosis.
Yeah.
We had conversations that no parent should ever have to go through.
Yes.
And a lot of times it came down to looking at each other and being like, what's your moral stance on some of these very hard questions that we were having to ask each other? And a lot of times it was, okay, I'm going to take a moment and read the Bible.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a moment and listen to some scripture or some music take a step back. And after she was born, with my husband having to go with her first and us being separated, he became Papa Bear very quickly. And it took me probably a solid month, where there was another huge incident in the hospital and she almost died, for my Mama Bear to come out and for us to be able to advocate together strongly.
Yeah.
And then after that moment, we went back to the car and we were like, okay, how do we make sure we're always on the same page?
Yeah.
With, if someone comes in and says, hey, I want to do this to your kid, whether it's a shot, a surgery, whatever, how do we navigate that? Where are we at with certain procedures and things like that? And it became a very logical conversation after that.
That's wonderful. I will tell you, I have 3 kiddos. And it's interesting that you just brought that up, because I think to myself with my husband, one thing that we agreed on when we had kids is we're both very calculated with our intentions, right?
Yes.
And it's rooted in the Bible. It's rooted in God. It's rooted in faith. It's rooted in why we got together.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we want the absolute best for our kids.
Yes.
We want to raise them up to their fullest potential, but really we want that purposefulness of within them that God created that for them.
Yeah.
He knew what they were going to do in life and how they're going to serve in our world, right? We see it. He and I, we see it. And if we see something's happening or we have to give a consequence because they caught off kilter, you're always on the same team.
Yeah. And that's a very good point. You're on the same
team. It's super important.
Yeah.
And it truly is rooted in faith, purpose, and, trust and what we hope to get them back on track, right?
Yeah.
I will say there's been moments where the consequence, I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? That's what we are going to do?
Yeah.
And you'll see that as she gets older and pushes boundaries or she wants to go do something, but then now you have that complexity component where you can't do that. And I got to tell you no.
Yeah.
And here's the explanation why. And then she's probably going to push it and go, no, I'm going to go do that.
I want it anyway. Yeah.
You have another layer.
Yeah.
Whereas our consequences, like he pushed it or she pushed it and she did something stupid and the outcome is this. And now we got to deal with that bullshit.
Yeah.
Whereas you have a little bit extra worry and massive health consequence. And there have been times for me in our dynamics where I'm like, that seems a little strong, or I'm confused why you did that. Yeah. But I still stand firm. I'm like, do what your dad said.
Yep.
Or he'll say, do what your mother told you to do.
Yep.
That's super important.
It's key.
It is key. And
think about it from when a doctor comes in.
Yes.
And say I'm in the room and I say, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
I leave or I go to the bathroom and my husband's there. They try again because they will.
Yeah.
And if we're not on the same page, it could literally change her life.
Yes, absolutely. So you have to come in with a strong game plan every single time.
Yep.
Wow. And that's great though that you have that, you're building that foundation with him.
Yeah.
And this is how you navigate things. This is how we're going to do it. We're working together. And we always stay in that mindset. We're working together. If I say no, you say no.
Exactly.
And he trusts that your no, there's a good reason for it. Or if I say yes, there's a good reason for it.
Yep.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you see sometimes as far as, does he understand the space that you need for yourself? Maybe there's moments where you're like, I need a break.
He's gotten a lot better.
A lot better. Okay.
Sometimes our first year was so challenging with different medical things happening on and off that it was just crazy. And now that she's 2 and getting better, it's gotten a lot better with that. But he does recognize, which I'm lucky.
Yes, that's wonderful, because you need a break. You need a break in general. Yeah. You guys are working and
he needs a break, and it's hard to navigate that.
It is hard. And sometimes I land more in the womanist camp for valuing each other and our contributions to our family, to the world. So I'm like, okay, yeah, he is an equal valued member of society and very important to the system that I've built with my family, right? Yeah. And then sometimes I've stepped back and go, okay, did I value him in that situation? Did I show that I value him in that situation? It's super important.
It especially is. And that reflection is important.
It is so important. Yeah. And I'm glad that you guys are figuring out, but I also I am like praying for you guys with having that extra the complexity of what you're contending with.
There's a lot of questions that we never thought to ask each other before this happened. And I'm very lucky. We're very aligned in our faith and our morals.
Yeah.
But I have seen it with couples, especially when a diagnosis happens in utero, where they're not aligned and they have not had conversations, and it splits them apart.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
That's just heartbreaking to me.
It is very heartbreaking. I can see that. I can see that. I want to shift to advocacy and navigating the system in this area. I want to ask this question because I wrote it down. Where are families like yours being failed within the system here? And what would you change if you could?
Transparency.
Okay.
Transparency. There's so many options, whether through insurance, through the government, through grants, through local groups like Montana Bravehearts and stuff that people are not aware of.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to navigate. A lot of these opportunities through the government are very complicated, very minimal in opportunities. So you have to be quick to try and apply and how to navigate those applications. And I just would make it so much easier and free. I would make it free.
Yeah. And I think too, I found even with things that are available to people, there's something on the back end where they're not promoting it.
No.
And I'm like, was that not marketed or promoted so people know that they have that?
And even if someone knows about it, always bring it up. Yeah. Always bring it up if you're like, hey, maybe this will connect you, and maybe it doesn't, but at least you know that there's a resource out there.
Yes, absolutely. Because motherhood in general did not come with the manual.
No.
And I'm just going to say what that means to me, and I want to hear what that means to you. To me, motherhood without a manual means I'm like, holy crap. What I saw from my upbringing is not necessarily, I can't apply that to what I'm doing with my kids. And I can't do that where I live. Yeah. Montana comes into play with a lot of this. And I look at navigating communities and who my kids are around and what the community bring and how that the personality of the community and what's that look like for my children, because we're not from here.
Yeah.
So that manual piece, I remember saying this to somebody when I got home from the hospital. I don't remember which kid it was, but I was like, my goodness, I'm like, I need a manual. Where's the freaking manual for having 2 kids in diapers? And what do I do? And I think for myself, I'm like, there is no manual. It's very different for each family. It's very different for each mother, for each father. Yep. But I'm hoping that I have a manual that I look at that has some framework that when my kids get older and they decide to have kids, they can take that framework, whatever that looks like, and they can adjust it to their lives.
Absolutely.
And shift and change it and whatever they need to do, organically make it work for them.
Yes.
Because what my mom and dad had to do for my family, for me growing up, my brothers and sisters, doesn't apply to it's some of the basic framework. Absolutely. Hard work, effort, energy, apply yourself. That's my mom and dad were really focused in on, tenacity and resilience and all the things. But it looks different for me now. What is having a manual for motherhood look like for you?
Before I got pregnant, I thought it would be like how I was raised in the 90s.
Yeah.
With a bit of a difference, mainly safety.
Yeah.
Because I knew the world had shifted where I used to be able to go walk to school or to the park, and that's not really a thing anymore.
Right.
Even in Montana. So after
I'm glad you said that. That's a whole nother
podcast. Whole nother
conversation. But
scary conversation.
Yes, yeah.
But with my daughter, I really realized it's different per person and per kid. There was 4 of us in my family, and my parents did their darndest to be fair.
Yeah.
And I realized as I've gotten older that they were fair in the sense that I may need something and my sister didn't, but she needed something else. So their support shifted and changed and was more fluid. And when I was younger, I was like, so you're going to favor my sister.
That's
thing. How it's going to go. Second born energy.
Oh, yeah. She's your favorite. She's your favorite. Yeah.
And now I look at it, I'm like, I could read all the literature there's out there to be a parent, how to raise a kid, how to raise a healthy eater, how to raise all this. It's going to change depending on the kid and where we live, with the opportunity to be outside and the kind of community we foster in just our landscape in Montana.
Yeah.
I want that for my kid. I want that to be the framework where they're like, okay, I need a minute to calm down. I'm going to step outside and take a deep breath and recognize coming back to nature and God is the right way to go.
Yes. You did it way better than I did it. You did a great, that's amazing. You're awesome. Oh, I love all the things. I know that this is a hard conversation,
but
Angela.
Conversations needed.
But they're needed. Yeah. That's why creating this segment in the podcast, The Gathering Table, and then having it where women can write in the magazine about real things.
Absolutely, yes.
Montana is just a different way of life. It's definitely evolving.
It's real. It's about real things. Real things, real conversation. That's what we deal with here. Yeah.
We do. And we covet that. There's just an energy that we covet here. And we're not going to allow for BS to come in, right? Yep. But I also think that the Montanans sit down and we have these really hard conversations.
We're getting better at it.
We are getting better at it.
We're getting better at it.
And we're building amazing communities, and we're bringing the next generation up. Yeah. It's going to do amazing things, and it's going to look a lot different in a different world.
So different.
So different. We got all the things happening online, but then now we're going back to more connection and community in person and the trades and all the things that's coming. But you're right. Montana is outdoors and all the things that it offers. She is epic to be able to ground yourself and get back to the core of who you are in self-reflection. And you do all that, even despite the fact that you have an extra layer here.
If you don't believe in miracles, one, look at a medically complex child. That's a miracle.
Yeah.
Every child is a miracle. If you come to the Flathead and you stand on the edge of Flathead Lake and know that is all nature, that is all God's hand, that is a miracle.
It is a miracle.
And I think that people forget that sometimes where we live is just as beautiful. And even if you don't like to be outside, that's okay. I don't like bugs either.
Yeah.
But to be able to look at it and be like, hey, I'm going to come back and recognize that these are miracles and these kids are miracles.
They are.
And there's a lot of them here.
Yes.
There's a lot of them here.
Yes. And I love what you're doing to create community around that and to get circles medically. Is it medically?
Medical mama circle.
Medical mama circle. And maybe there'll be a medical daddy circle.
We're hoping.
Yes. Because men need to talk about this kind of stuff, right?
It's a goal. Yep.
It is a goal. But to be able to say, hey, I see the need and I'm going to do something about it.
Yep.
I'm going to find a way to make this happen.
Yep.
Because when you bring people together, beautiful things happen.
And that's Montana.
And that is Montana.
That's Montana.
I love that. We should be doing a commercial on Montana. I want to shift to, I know we're kind of getting down to the end here, but I want to do a reflection question with you. Got to get my glasses on here. So when life feels overwhelming, what brings you back? I know we've talked about that, but I want you to just I want to give you that moment. So when life feels overwhelming, what brings you back to center?
It is going outside and looking up, taking a breath, prayer, or it's blasting music in the car or around and just dancing it out. Just taking a moment to bring back what made me laugh as a kid.
Yes.
And a lot of that was outside or dancing.
I love that. What would be a song?
Oh, gosh. 90s, 2000s pop music right there.
Is that Spice Girls?
Oh, heck yeah.
Tell me what you want, what you really want.
Little Nelly in there, hot in here. You got to get some good
my gosh.
music.
We just talked about that last night with a friend of mine that was over getting ready for an event. And she was like, the song that I used to go dance to is Cyclone. I'm like, Cyclone?
Great song.
I'm like, what is Cyclone? I'm like, I'm about a whole decade ahead of that one.
That was my high school jam right there.
Okay. So you guys can relate on that one. And she played it for me. I was like, okay, yeah, that is a good, it's got a good beat to it.
Spice Girls. You gotta get the good ones.
I love that. I love that. Okay. What is one small moment in motherhood that reminds you why you keep going?
Pure joy in my daughter's face.
Oh.
Laughter. One of her conditions, they weren't sure she was ever going to laugh. And so when she would start to giggle, it was really exciting. And now she full on laughs. And so each time she does, I'm like, remember when they told us that might not be a thing? But just, it's worth it.
Yeah.
If you want that for you, if you want to be a parent, no matter the complexities, which I know is hard to say, but it's worth it.
It is so worth it. I love that. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right, girl, we're down to our last question, which with the podcast, we love to bring new perspective in. We like for you to know somebody that would be wanting to share their story on the podcast. So this is the part that I light up on because I'm like, I love all things that we talk about. But I'm like, oh, it's so cool to watch somebody else spotlight another woman that they believe needs to be on the podcast. So here we go. We believe in creating a space for real, honest conversations and continuing them beyond just one voice at the table. It's always fun. We have many girls talking around the table. Who is one woman, another mother, caregiver, advocate in Montana who you believe should have a seat at this table and share her story? What is it about her story that people need to hear?
Now, you and I talked about this. I have a hard time picking people.
I know.
And Katie Knoll is my daughter's occupational therapist. And she has changed the way I look at parenting and the way I look at my daughter's medical complexities in such a way that I hope everyone finds someone like her. She's a mom. She's an occupational therapist. And so she's a working mom.
Okay. Yeah.
And to me, even though she's just a few years older than I am, I look at her as she's my expert. And even if she doesn't know something, she's like, let's try something.
Oh.
And she supports me as a mom. She supports my husband as a dad in a way that she became one of our first friends that we met together.
Yeah.
Through our daughter. And she and her family and what she does for work and where she works and all of that, I just think she would really be a good person to speak to.
I love that. Does she have kids of her own?
Yep, 2
kiddos. Awesome. I love that. And I love that people are listening.
Yeah.
And they're seeing things from a different angle and go, okay, this didn't work for this kiddo. We're going to try something different. Yeah. Let's try it this way.
And
just that little tweak
is early intervention.
And early intervention.
Especially for medically complex children, early intervention. And that's something that was brought up to us. And so we started, and she was one of the first therapists we met with when we came home.
That's wonderful.
We've been with her over 2 years.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I'm looking forward to meeting her. So
she's family now.
Oh, she's family. I love it. So we'll bring more family to the table. That's awesome. So let's just kind of wrap up here and tell everybody who's listening where they can go and learn a little bit more about you. Maybe there's a mama listening that wants to be involved in your support group.
Absolutely.
Give some of that information out.
So you can find me on Instagram or Facebook, Angela Willey, author. Follow Postpartum Resource Group as well for Circle, whether you want to come to Medical Mama Circle or just Circle, which is open for everybody. So please just come and join us at Circles. We hit different cities. We're in Whitefish, Kalispell, Big Fork at different times of the month. So whenever it works for you.
Perfect. Is there anything coming? Are you going to do a series of books? Is there anything that we should be watching for?
So Little Louise, I'm hoping to turn into a universe and really bring inclusivity and awareness to medically complex children. So there's some more. Some more coming.
There's a little glimpse right there. I love that. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being Julie. At the gathering table.
Yes.
And keep doing what you're doing. You're a wonderful mother.
Thank you.
You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you for having me on today.
Yeah, absolutely. A special thank you to our podcast guest. You can find all of her links in the description of this episode. If you like what you heard, please hit subscribe. You will be notified of future podcast guests. Follow us on our social media platforms and stay tuned for our next podcast chat with an amazing Montana woman.